Hello, thanks for joining me for another beer review then. Today we've got the Vocation Breakfast Club Mark II, or the 2.0. So this is a rebrew of the Vocation original Breakfast Club that was in Tesco's last year. So this is the rebrand. It's a bit more kind of like all this sort of stuff on it. So yeah, so it's a 440ml can, 6.9%, the same as the original one, which I've got a review which will be down below. Breakfast Club is a waffle and blueberry breakfast stout then, 6.9% ABV, according to Untapped it's 10 IBUs, so yeah. One thing I'm really intrigued by, and I don't know what the reason was, the original was a collaboration with Yeasty Boys, which are a brewery out of New Zealand, but they do brew their beer over here in the UK at the moment. Same ABV, etc., and we'll get into the ratings and stuff after. But this one is a solely Vocation Brewery beer, so I'm intrigued to what happened there and all that kind of jazz. It's got a black ring pull on a silver topped can, so let's crack this one open then. Let's see what we get. Of course this was available at my local Tesco's Extra. This is at room temperature as well, guys, so just putting that out there. Very carbonated. Let's try and generate a little bit of a head. Slight ruby hues to that, but it's going to go down extremely quickly. One of them thin cola type looking and the way it's behaving beers. So into the light then, what we got. It's jet black. There's a little bit of that kind of cherry type colour coming through as you look up sort of by the base of the beer, the thinnest part, but apart from that it's jet black, and maybe a little bit of that kind of colour at the bottom of the glass. But yeah, the head just, you know, went down really quickly on this one, so interesting. So let's get a rundown on this one. I can't remember what actually rated the original version either, so yeah, I mean the aroma is very, for me at least, you're getting blueberries, but it's very kind of like synthetic. A slightly savoury edge, I guess. You know, you've got that waffle savoury edge, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it smells okay. Let's see what you get on the taste. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, blueberries, you are getting a slight savoury edge, but I'm actually getting quite a lot of alcohol. Although the body of the beer is coming across quite thin, let's go again just to make sure. Yeah, very thin body. It's just the after effect. You're definitely getting that blueberry kind of pancake edge, but you think you're getting blueberry, and then it just kind of dies into this synthetic kind of, it just evaporates very quickly. That initial the first kind of thing that hits you is a really lovely blueberry waffle savoury edge, and then all of a sudden it's gone. To my palate, if you get something different and it hangs around, great, because that's what I want it to be. Because I know everyone's got different palates and tastes, but for me, my palate, this can, it's not doing it for me in that regard. But yeah, that first like 10 seconds or so after a mouthful, excuse me, it's doing it for me. It's really nice. It's funny. I actually think the carbonation in this beer is very. I mean, it's a 6.9. Let's try and really generate a head on this, and it's not doing it. It gets to that point and then it just disappears. So the carbonation for me, I'd say, is very low on this. And when I was actually getting the can to review the beer, there was, you could put a bit of pressure on the can and it slightly kind of bowled into the can. You know when you do that, it's got that feel to the beer, and that was when the beer was actually in the can. So that's kind of like, I always like to do that just to make sure, you know, whether there's enough pressure or carbonation in the can before you open it. So that for me sent out slight alarm bells. I didn't actually go out to Tesco's and buy this beer, so I can't really vouch for that, but I do appreciate Simon for me picking this up, a good friend of mine locally. Yeah, so it smells really nice on the nose. It's got that blueberry edge, slightly savoury, sweet, but then it kind of lets it down after the first 10 seconds of the taste. It's great up until that point. I have no idea what I said on the original review of this beer from the first version, but this is the second version. I mean, it's still a nice beer, don't get me wrong, but and you're paying £3 a can in Tesco's, I get that. For £3 a can, it's all right, you know. You have to actually filter all these kind of things in. I'm really intrigued why they dropped Yeasty Boys as the collaboration, the original collaboration brewer, and they've kept the name and just put like 2.0. If the brewery could tell me and us that, I'll be quite happy and intrigued by that. What happened? But yeah, it's not. It's all right, but it's not. I can't remember what the first version was like, or what rating I gave it. So after this, you can go and check out my original review, which the link will be down below. It's okay, but it just feels like it's undercarbonated. That'd probably be one of the things against it. And then the flavour just drops off after about 5 or 10 seconds when you actually taste it. It smells really nice. It's got that savoury edge on the aroma, but then it just falls off. But that's just me on my kind of like review head. If I was drinking this on another day, not reviewing, someone's like, "Oh, you tried this one from Tesco? They've got loads of craft beers in," and all that kind of, you know. I'm like, yeah, okay, and I'll drink it. Oh, that's really good, but I'm not reviewing it. The amount of times I've had beers where I'm not reviewing, and I thought it was really good, and then I come to review it, and then it's like I'm thinking about it, the flavours, etc., and it's just not. You don't look at the beer the same way. You don't pull it apart, etc. when you're just having a leisurely drink with friends or whatever. Not the same. Not the same kind of like surroundings atmosphere. You're just here with your thoughts on the camera. It's okay. It's not horrible. But it's just not what I want from an actual pastry stout. Yeah, pastry stout. So, but then there's lots of other things. It's £3 a can. It's in a UK supermarket. I get all that. But I'm just drinking the beer, analysing it, and putting it out there for my own kind of like, my version of it, if you like. So in terms of rating then, we'll get to the point, because there's a lot of waffle. Do you know what I did there? There's a lot of waffle. Makes a change that I actually got that gag in. That I talk, of course. But in terms of rating for me on this one, I'm going to give this one like... it's still okay. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I have no idea what I give the original version. I could be saying all this nonsense now, and the first version could be exactly the same result, you know. But I do think the first version was better. It'd be hilarious if it was the same rating that I gave the first one to this. But I actually do think the first version was slightly better than this, from memory, which is bad. So anyway, let me know what you think. Vocation Breakfast Club 2.0, if you've had it, then the old Tesco's extras. So we go to Untapped then on this version, and I've actually hopefully got the my marks on the first version. We'll get into that in a minute. 2011 total check-ins of this beer, 564 in the last 30 days. 1,768 total ratings of this one then, and it's coming in at 3.86. Pretty good score. So to the original, so this had 1,768 total ratings. Remember that one. So the original has had 15,732 total check-ins. And this is really interesting, in the last 30 days. How many of these people have checked in the wrong beer on Untapped? The original version, 262 in the last 30 days. Is the original beer still out there in Tesco's extras? I'd be very intrigued by that, to be honest. I reckon a fair percentage of people have checked in the wrong version, probably the version 2 to the original version. Just saying. So, apparently 12,371 people have rated the original version, and it's coming in at 3.8. So 3.8 for 12,371 against 3.86 for 1,768. You can take that what you will, because I think a lot of people have made a mistake with the overall kind of check-in beer. So I said this beer was a 7 out of 10, which is a 3.75 on Untapped. Let's go and check what I put for the original, which a link will be down below. And I have put... I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. I've given this beer the exact same rating, which is amazing, isn't it? Apparently. Yeah, it's the same rating. But I do prefer, although I've given the same rating for both beers, which is absolutely knew it would happen. I do prefer the version, the original version. Typical, isn't it? But anyway, I'll put it all on camera. I'll stand by it. I think the original version is slightly better. Shows you how much I know about beer. Anyway, enough breakfast blueberry waffle from me. Let me know if I had this one before, the original or the V2 or 2.0, you know what I mean. Long review. Ridiculous. Anyway, thanks for watching then. Please subscribe if you're new. Give us a thumbs up. Share it. And I'll see you on the next one. See you later.